All right, let's move on now to the next topic. The Russo brothers, dude. Let me Electric State. So Netflix has a really big movie coming up called Electric State. It's a movie starring Millie Bobby Brown and Chris Pratt. The premise of the movie, from what I remember, is a world where all animatronic robots, and it's funny, we were just talking about Five Nights at Freddy's, but a world where all animatronic robots come to life. And it's almost like Armageddon, I guess. I don't know. Some are good, some are bad. They're just trying to live lives together. It's Peanut and all that stuff. I do want to say, when I first saw the trailer, even though that sounds so awesome, because you'll remember, I'm the guy who, whenever I heard the premise of Willy's Wonderland, which was, again, a Chuck E. Cheese, where animatronics would come to life and Nicolas Cage would fight them, I thought to myself, oh, dude, yes, let's watch that. Sorry, I misspelled that. I was like, dude, yeah, I love it. Animatronics are creepy. I mean, I went to Chuck E. Cheese plenty as a kid, and these guys are cool. I'm still sad we never got a sequel or anything to Willy's Wonderland. Like, that's just a crime. Someone needs to do it. But you would think this would be a brilliant movie, right? And it's the Russo brothers. They're about to do Doomsday and all that stuff. Well, it did not go their way. Electric State debuted with a 10% on Rotten Tomatoes, now having made its way up to 23%. And the real kicker about this movie was the budget. This movie was made on a budget of $320 million. That is about or more than the budget of Avengers Infinity War. So the reason I wanted to bring this up is because there's so many angles we could go with this. Okay, and I'm going to list them off, then we're going to go into each one. For one, the Russo brothers' track record outside of Marvel and them now coming back has been pretty bad. We're going to look at all the movies that they've made after they were finished with Marvel and why they decided to come back. And then does that make us worried for Doomsday and Secret Wars? Netflix, what is the purpose of spending $300 million on one movie? Like, I really want to know the logic behind that. And then what do people expect now from streaming movies? Okay, so let's go into the to actually the one about Netflix spending this much money. I don't get it, man. This is a category of streaming movies. It's the same reason whenever the movie Red One came out, so many of us, and again, that's the budget on this one, $250 million was Red One. But if you remember, I think all of us had a universal experience of whenever we saw the trailer, posters, and everything for Red One, I think 9 out of 10 people were like, oh, that's an Amazon movie. That's going to be a streaming movie. What platform is that going on? And then we were all shocked. We were like, it's going to theaters. What? It's a theater movie. Doesn't look like one. That's the mindset streaming has put us in now. That we see 200, $300 million gigantic movies. And we think to ourselves, oh, okay, I'll watch that on Netflix. I'll watch that on Amazon. Our minds no longer go, that's an expensive movie, so it must be where expensive movies go, theaters. I know you don't think that's a big deal. I know some of you think that's exaggerated. That is a big deal. That is a mind shift happening. And I feel like that's the real conspiracy here. Okay. This is my flat earth theory involving with streaming, that they're doing this on purpose to destroy the theater model, to destroy expectations for what regular moviegoers expect when going to a theater. Because these are the big, expensive movies you expect to pay for. When you get this big, expensive movie straight, basically for free at your house, because when you're paying something monthly like that, you don't really think about it. So it's free, right? I definitely think someone said, I don't believe that. I don't know, man. That's flat earth, flat earth of streaming services. I think that's something going on there because I think that's a real phenomenon happening day in, day out. There is just this look, whether it's movies like Red One, Electric State. What was that one? Michael Bay one with Ryan Reynolds. Underground Six. I think it was Six Underground. There was also Red Notice, or what was it? Red State, something like that. I'm like, they just look like they're straight to streaming. Okay, so there's that. I don't know, because again, Netflix is also all about quantity, getting as many projects out there with $300 million. You could have made like 40, 30 movies, no exaggerating. Think about how many, think of all the Blumhouse movies that are made on 10, $20 million budgets. You could have made 30, 40 different movies, all that people probably would have seen about as much as this one, right? Um, so there's that. I definitely think that is such an interesting phenomenon, and it's not going to stop. Netflix is always bragging about how much they spend a year. Like, let's just look right now. Netflix year budget on how much they're spending. 18, jeez Louise, $18 billion is their budget for movies in 2025. That's how much they're going to spend this year just to make Squid Game season 3, make, I don't know, whatever other crazy expensive movie. But I really do think that this type of movie making does real damage to theater experience, mind expectations. Just think about it for a sec. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but I really do believe that. Okay, now let's talk about the Russo Brothers side of it. So if we look at the Russo Brothers filmography, and I'm not going to be all negative on it, because there is one specifically on here that I'm like, I don't think that was that bad. But if we look at like the Russo Brothers filmography and their Rotten Tomato scores since they've been whatchamacallit, let me see, where's the view all? I want to see all their movies. Okay, here we are. Okay, let's go just to movies newest. All right, so since they ended with Avengers Endgame being their last one, right? And I do want to say they're the kind of movies that usually divide fans, where it's like critics just don't like it, but it's the kind of movie your friend Chad, who works at you at the cubicle in the accounting department, he'll be like, saw that movie. That was pretty good. You got to check it out. It was nice. You watch it and you're like, Chad might be an idiot. I got to stay away from him at lunch. So we had 21 Bridges. Didn't do well with audience. Still not one. I haven't seen it. And you know what? I will say the trailers for that did interest me. It looked exciting, but I never checked it out. 91%. So audiences enjoyed it. That's what I'm talking about. Co-worker movie. It's a movie that probably people like. Don't even know what Musal is. Extraction. This is producer. I'm looking for their director. Okay. Cherry was their next directed movie after that. Oh, wait. They didn't even direct 21 Bridges, so ignore that. Cherry was their real directorial debut after that. Big disappointment. I was so looking forward to that movie. I thought Tom Holland was going to get nominated for like an Oscar or something. This is the movie where, and I quote me on this, I kid you not, this is the movie where Tom Holland bends over and a camera shows the inside of his butthole. Sit with that information for a sec. There is dedicated screen time to a camera inside Tommy Holland's butthole. Let me tell you, the pause button was working hard that day. Okay? It's all done through CGI and not a real thing. But it's still a scene when you're like, why did you need to do that? It was also, and even the ending of this movie is so funny because they put Tom Holland in like a prosthetic where he's supposed to look 50 years old, but he's got the chiseled face of a muscular young 20-year-old with makeup to make him look 50. And it's just one of the funniest endings. It was a very disappointing movie. So okay, there was that. Gray Man. This is the one I am going to defend, and I am on the side of the 90%. I thought Gray Man was so entertaining. I thought it was a really fun movie starring Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans. They play like these agents who are now going after each other. I honestly, I had really good time with that. I'm so surprised it didn't get good reviews, but hey, that ended up happening, right? Another one, and that was another Netflix big budget movie. That was like another $200 million movie with them, and it went straight to Netflix. The next movie they directed after that is now Electric State. Okay, so I'm showing you this because it's a track record letting us know the Russo brothers, unfortunately, once they left Marvel, their next 3 movies after that, $1 million movies, big budget films, and critics just did not like them, did not enjoy them. And so it's kind of no surprise they went back to Marvel whenever Kevin Feige was like, Doomsday and Secret Wars? You in? Gonna be a nice paycheck. But it's because I think there's something really to be said about the committee or the group of people that tell what should be in a Marvel movie, which is kind of the way they make these Marvel movies. As much as you want to believe them, I'm sure people like James Gunn or whatnot have their say and whatnot. But I think there's for sure Kevin Feige's input and direction. The Russo brothers just thrive in that universe. And so it doesn't make me that scared because even their filmography and things they did before the MCU was also about the same. You, Me, and Dupree, that Owen Wilson movie, couple episodes of Community. I do think it's just fascinating. So it doesn't completely worry me about what will happen when Doomsday and Secret Wars comes. But I do wonder now, since there's been a good run with critics, that they're going to be a little harsher. Because you got to admit, critics are now pretty harsh on Marvel movies. When it seemed like there was a period, every Marvel movie just got positive, extraordinary reviews. When comparatively, I don't know if they were that great. Like, like Brave New World came out and it's the third lowest rated Marvel movie. I don't think that's the third lowest Marvel movie. I could probably name 5 other Marvel movies I liked less than Brave New World, but it's the time we live in. I mean, even Daredevil Born Again, which I thought was really great, I'm seeing some critics being pretty harsh on the show or just really nitpicking at it now because that's where we've gotten with Marvel. We expect greatness. So I think the pressure is still on. And now with this track record, Doomsday has an uphill battle. So hopefully they defeat that up. But I don't know. I've got to be honest, not really looking forward to the movie now. Even with that trailer, like I said, didn't interest me then. Definitely doesn't interest me. But it's also kind of the thing where when a Rotten Tomatoes score is that low, it's almost like, can't be that bad. Spent $300 million on it. Can't be that bad. I'm gonna check it out whenever it comes out. I think it releases March 14th on streaming. But yeah, you guys gotta let me know. Does this worry you, or what's going on, or whatnot? Let me see what this is, bro. Are you kidding me now? I was expecting this at the usual time, and now I missed a ton. Oh, it's okay, man. You could always go back and watch it. I'll have it, and I'll even put timestamps. Sorry for the odd time, but hey, you guys are showing up, and I appreciate you here. So, Russo brothers, I'm still excited for Doomsday, and doesn't worry me because, like I said, but it is just interesting that outside of the Marvel sphere, the Russo brothers just seem to not be able to nail critics and audiences the way they did with Marvel. So we'll see if they can still pull that magic whenever Doomsday and Secret Wars comes out. Doesn't ruin my excitement, but dude, I am more just irritated with this Netflix model of let's spend $300 million on a terrible movie. You spend that much money on a movie, man. Don't you gotta hope it's good? Don't you gotta hope it's good? All right, let's move on to this Mickey Mouse cinematic universe. So